I compare it to masturbation. It's like, no, like, you don't understand. I really need to jerk off. Okay, so what do you reckon should happen? You're just gonna pull out your dick and just like masturbate because that's how you feel? Wish you a Merry Christmas. Wish you a Merry Christmas. It's 1828 on Christmas Day, 2023, which falls on a Monday. It's going to be an interesting week knowing that it started on Tuesday. And I'm going to be driving from, oh my gosh, I need to make sales already. I just realized, like, what the hell? It's been a long weekend and I currently don't have anything to ship. Let me check my other stores. Let's see if we can multitask. I am in El Cajon. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, not El Cajon. In the San Diego area. I believe it's 45 minutes from San Diego or something along those. Wow, that's close. I used to have a friend over there. And I used to I have this thing of just really caring and really trusting somebody, putting all of my hope and faith and things onto them. But people prove me wrong, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course. What the hell was I thinking? So I know that, wow, it's only 78 degrees here, but it feels really warm. So I came here to spend Christmas, and I was lucky enough to be able to book a couple of nights, starting from Christmas Eve. My house is, what is this amount? See, I'm trying to multitask, and I've always said multitasking is a scam. My house is 4 hours drive from here without any traffic, which this is San Diego area. You drive south from where I live. So basically, you're driving south from Los Angeles kind of direction. It's very notorious for being... What the hell? Why am I doing this twice? It's notorious for... traffic, and I thought to myself, okay, 4 hours. To be honest, now that I'm thinking of it, it took me less than it would some people just driving from Los Angeles, only 2 hours away. And I was 4 hours away, and I got here in just under 4 hours. Imagine that. So I hadn't gone anywhere other than the gas station to buy milk and fried chicken and cheese in my town since I'd been back from South Africa, and I came back on the 15th/16th of December. So it was nice to get out of the house finally, because I'd just been sleeping and cleaning. I've been doing a decent amount of tidying up, not just cleaning, but putting away the kinds of things that you'd been meaning to put away for years, and then you finally do. That's what I was doing. I'm like, dang, look at me. I'm actually very proud of myself that I've been doing that kind of stuff. Did that in the kitchen area. I did it in 3 rooms. I did it in the store side next door, and I did it in my in the office area. So whenever I would walk into some of the rooms, I'd be like, dang, it looks new here and looks big, because you have so much more space and you can see surfaces that you hadn't seen in a while. By you, I mean I. So what is this? Oh, I know this is 26. 25, it's Christmas Day, who cares? So, I'm sorry, I knew this was not a good idea that I'm trying to multitask, but I'm sending offers on eBay, giving everybody 25% off because, it's the 25th and it's Christmas, so I'm just doing a nice play on that kind of thing. I feel like I never noticed myself yawning until I started talking on this thing, I swear. So I'm staying in El Cajon in a Siquan. It's a resort in the middle of nowhere here, which is a nice staycation type of place. Apparently, it's a golfing destination as well. I really need to get into golf so that I can be those cool people that travel with my clubs. I do think about that. I was like, what are they called? What are they called? But yeah, it's nice to be here. And the reason that I came here today is because about 30 minutes before I arrived in my destination, I saw check engine light. That's one of the reasons I mentioned that yesterday was the first time I was driving since I'd been back. My car had been parked for 3 weeks, right? That's how long I was away for. I don't even know it was just 3 weeks. I don't know how long the car had been standing there before I left for home. I did go to Vegas a week before, so not longer than a week. Then I removed the battery connection and I was gone for 3 weeks. And then I remember when I plugged my everything in so I can go to the store and also just to get the car out of the garage and, move it around a little bit. I was like, oh gosh, like this battery is dated 2021. Does that mean that the battery was bought in 2021 or it expired in 2021? I need to ask that on the Siri stuff. But anyway, actually, now I feel like I need to know that. Let me ask. Don't disconnect me, please. What does it on car battery mean? So it says the date on car battery refers to the manufacturing date. It often stamped or printed on the battery case. Knowing the manufacturing date can be helpful because car batteries have a limited lifespan, typically around 3 to 5 years. If the battery is approaching this age, it may be more prone to failure. Okay, so this is giving me hope. I did get my car in 2021, so I guess they bought a new battery. Well, that's nice. I find out nice things about this car, or just like stuff like my house and my car. I think I bought them the same. Did I buy a house and a car in the same year? I bought the car in November of 2021. It's now December of 2022, so I've had the car for 2 years. And I kind of have this like strong inkling to sell the car, by the way. Well, I more have an inkling to buy another car than anything else. So currently I have the Land Rover that has been sitting for years that needs to go. One of my New Year's resolutions, quote unquote, is to get rid of that car. And hopefully I'll make enough money just from that one car to get myself like a nice, maybe small size SUV type deal. I like driving a small car like I am now, but I would like a much newer car. I was even thinking the other day, what if I sell both cars and buy one car? Of course, I'm not going to sell both cars and then buy a car. I'd have to sell one car, buy a car, sell the second car as well. But like that kind of deal. Oh, I need to turn off this heater. It feels nice though. So I was looking at the battery. I was like, I don't know. It's just like sometimes like I have to try not to let myself go into this negative zone. And I'm like, just think positively. And I've just been in this like weird place. But my period is due like probably tomorrow. If I'm lucky, it'll start when I get back to my house and end before New Year's, so that I can have a nice New Year's out of town without bleeding. But we shall see. Hopefully I can stop at a Costco actually on my way back so I can buy tampons because I'm running out. It's always a nice thing to buy tampons beginning of the year. I don't know. I feel like they always go on sale too. I don't know, but Costco, whatever. Anyway, I'm rambling. Just so I saw the check engine light 30 minutes before I arrived, and I was like, please, can I just make it back? Can I just make it to the hotel, please? And I did, thank gosh, without any issues. I was just like, I don't want to pull over. I did pull over because it just wouldn't keep the cruise control. I feel like my car doesn't have a problem with cruise control, but I don't know if it does or it's me, because the Land Rover has a problem with cruise control. Can you imagine if that doesn't even have it? It's me there too. But I think that it does. The Land Rover has a couple of like issues that don't really affect the operation of the vehicle. The car drives. It starts right away, drives, none of those issues. But apparently it has things that need to be taken care of that I have tried to no avail, so I stopped trying that. Now, I don't know why I keep thinking I spent thousands of dollars to try and fix the car. I never spent thousands of dollars to fix the car. Where does that come from? I'm definitely tripping. Maybe they quoted me that, and I was like, fuck no. Why do I think that? I only spent a few $100. Anyway, so I'm driving, and I'm like, oh, I was going to say, whenever I do the cruise control, like I'll set it at like 80 miles per hour. I drive a little faster. Not too fast, just because long distances, it's just you on the freeway. And I was like, whenever I try to sometimes go back to cruise, it won't take, even though I'm not doing anything different than what I've been doing, putting it on and off. So that's why I think it has a problem. But sometimes I would think that it's not going to take, and then speed up to that speed, and then it will take again. Or slow down to, I don't know, dude. And I'm tired of Googling things. I'm just relieved that my battery is not due to be replaced. Because I thought maybe I need to buy a battery tomorrow and call AAA, and have them come to the hotel. So now that we know that that's not the issue. I'm all over the place, but I hope it's followable because I am following it. So I've been told that I tell several stories at once, but a lot of people are actually able to keep up because I don't know, maybe they're not. Maybe they don't fucking follow. What do I know? They're just like pretending they do. Oh my gosh, I just want to close my eyes and sleep right now. Oh, I have this wave of tiredness. I did pull over. I was about 1 hour away. I actually forgot about this. I was about an hour away, or was it 100 miles away? And I pulled over because the cruise was not catching. And I was done with the areas that had other cars where I kept turning it on and off. So I think sometimes that affects it. So I was like, you know what? Let's pull over, shut the engine down, and turn it back on so that, because when you do that, that resets it so that I can get the cruise control again. One of the last times I did that, when I got back on the road, I had a major tire leak where I had to keep pulling over every 10, 15 minutes for a 2-hour period until I got to Vegas. That was kind of a nightmare. So I try not to pull over now because I still have like PTSD from that experience. You think you're pulling over to do a wellness check on your car. Meanwhile, you driving over a screw or you fucking yourself over. So just fucking keep driving until a light comes on. Then you pull over, I guess. Anyway, I pulled over to do the thing. I was like, okay, the road looks smooth and clean. I think I'm safe. I pull over, I turn off, I turn back on, immediately get on the road. This fucking car can see that I'm getting on the road. It's a little red car, that's me, in the middle of a sunny Southern California, mid-morning, lunchtime. You can see my car. And you're just driving, and all of a sudden, he's just slowing down right in my back bumper. I'm thinking to myself, you know what, fuck off. There's nothing I can do to speed this car up. And we're at a merger of the main freeway that we're on and then incoming, there's a freeway that's merging onto us. So I can't exactly pull over. If I'm pulling over, I'm pulling over onto other cars that are coming. So I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck off. Like, sometimes you raise your hand to apologize for the inconvenience. Sometimes I tend to do that. I'll apologize, and then I'll realize, actually, they were in the wrong, but whatever. So sometimes you do that, and then you're like, fuck it, and then you end up doing the middle finger. You change your mind like mid-hand, mid-apology. I didn't do that, but it's like one of those vibes. So I then arrive. I was going to say, I don't know if pulling over there did something to the car that ended up with me 30 minutes later getting the check engine light. I'm putting all of it together and I'm like, wow, this is more or less the same thing that happened that one time in Vegas. Pull over, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden get a light. It's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, is it worth it is it worth the cruise control? I don't know, we'll see. Those are the little things that it's like, maybe a fuse can fix it. That's why I'd like to know like basic things about cars, because I really think that some things are probably just like a fuse or, just like dusting this thing off. But I'm tired of like Googling, YouTubing and clickbait and all that shit. So luckily I made it. I was like, don't pull over for any reason. I mean, there was a lot of stop streets the closer I got to the hotel, because there's a small residential area there. But then it was just this big property and I was like, oh my God. I would hate, instead of enjoying the beauty now, which I kind of was, but I was also like, this is the middle of nowhere. I would hate to have a car problem here. Like, I hate to talk about these problems, but hey. So I stopped and I turned the engine on and I turned it off, turned it on. I was like, yeah, the engine light is staying there. I don't know what's going to take for it to go away. Has it really not been 30 minutes? My order is going to be ready in 30 minutes. And I feel like, how long have I been back in my room for? 14 seconds left. Cancel that. Yeah, let me go and get my meal. I thought I was going to go back to the hotel, to the, what is the place? I thought I was going to go back to the casino and play, but I feel like I'm ready to just hang out in the room again, which is why I came here. It's a staycation, so we're good. So, put on my shoes and remember to bring back a bunch of free drinks. There's a long line where you pick up free drinks. You can take maximum two. So we'll see. I slept with my window open last night, and I enjoy just like picking out and looking at the stars and going back to sleep. I don't know if I'm gonna do that again today. You know what? Let's leave the window open. Bring some like light and life inside here. Now, today I was like, I guess at some point I'm gonna have to check. Hold on. I was like, I guess at some point I'm going to have to check the car, right? I can't just pretend that we don't have a problem. And I can. Sometimes that's how I survive my life. Just pretend I don't have problems. And I can just skirt through life like that. But I didn't feel like that this time. Kind of wanted to rest assured that that's taken care of. Which, I get to the car. First of all, I went downstairs to eat. To grab something to eat. When I go downstairs, and the car, the lines, everyone is here, by the way. Yesterday, the same time, I'm sorry that I'm a bit all over the place, but let me just finish this. Yesterday, around the same time, I went to get something to eat. There was nobody in line where I ordered. There were a decent amount of people gambling. I didn't gamble because I was kind of tired. And I think I'm proud of myself because it was my first time getting out of the house and I drove 4 hours and survived. So I'm like, okay, let's go and eat today. And it was like people everywhere. It was just people waiting like in lines to get money or whatever by the cashiers. Just people in the machines clogging them, just like people everywhere. People smoking, people not smoking. A bunch of people in an area where it looks like maybe it's not a smoking area, but there'll be like one random person smoking, like hiding a cigarette, like so gross, so selfish. Smokers are some of the most selfish habitat people. They've got to smoke. And you know what? I appreciate it. Like, I've got to do certain things too. Imagine if it's to me, I compare it to masturbation. It's like, no, like, you don't understand. I really need to jerk off. Okay, so what do you reckon should happen? You're just going to pull out your dick and just like masturbate because that's how you feel? That's what I think about cigarettes. And of course, the jokes write themselves. Then I thought, I don't want to wait in this longest line, dude. The line is longer for free drinks and it's long for the food where I wanted to go and order. So I'm like, let me just go to the car. I had like snacks in there. So I had like half a chocolate in there that I enjoyed and a bunch of hard candy. So I had some of that, but I was like, you know what, I'm already in the car. Let me see if I can Google and figure out what the problem is. Google, by the way, said it's probably the fuel cap. That's one of the causes of check engine light, the fuel cap not closing properly. Did I check this in my car? I don't. My Land Rover. Anyway. So I remembered when I saw this on Google that the night that on my way here, I did stop an hour from my house to get gas. And when I was shutting the fuel thing, it clicked, click, click, and then turned, click, 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 turn, click, 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 turn. I realized that if I kept doing that, I could be there forever just doing it. It wouldn't get to a point where it's completely shut. I've always thought, like in the back of my mind, so interesting, like it would click, click and close, and I would leave it, but like, okay, it feels closed, but it never feels locked, you know what I mean? But this time it was worse, so I was like, let's just go. I found like a decently locked spot, and then I left. So when I saw this on Google, it gave me so much hope. I was like, I hope that's what it is. I think that's what it is, because I needed something to release the stress that I had about the car. Then I don't even, I want to get back home and safely and then maybe talk to the mechanic. But I honestly would rather not have to deal with the mechanic. He and I have a decent relationship, close, whatever. I just don't like having relationships with people. And also I don't want to have a problem where I have to deal with it. It just passed the smog test, thank God. This is happening after I passed smog because they wouldn't have even touched my car with the check engine light. So I have 2 more years before I have to smog the car again. I'm like, I have to sell this car before those 2 years lapse, maybe next year. And hopefully the next car that I'm going to get is going to be in better condition. This car is fine, but I think since the clutch problem that I replaced and just the paranoia and the strandedness that happened and just keeping buying tires, I don't know. I'm probably better off just driving a Toyota, but it's just not my personality. So hopefully we can manifest, I don't know, like a Mini Cooper SUV type car. I don't know. So I turned on the engine and I started it and it started and I was like, what could this be? What could be? I tried to turn the fuel thing and it just kept turning. I was like, I don't know about this. I feel like this probably is what the problem is. And I'm going to, at this point, I thought that I would have already bought the OBM. Is that what it's called? The error reader of the car. The fact that I don't even have any kind of it is amazing because it's something that it's one of those things you keep Googling on Amazon, eBay, and like, okay, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this. You know what? I'll get it at eBay. You know what? I'll get it at this. And you just end up not getting it. Maybe because I'll just end up going to like AutoZone. So I went and looked at the engine, all the fluids look okay. You know how the oil will look really low, but at the same time, you know, once you start driving, then it looks like it's overfilled. It's confusing. So I'm like, I'm not worried about that. What else could it be? I did notice a small leak under the car the other day when I moved the car from the garage. I was like, why is there a leak in this particular spot on a car that has a cover underneath? But I don't want to worry about that. I just couldn't be bothered, really. I would rather not be bothered. I don't want to have... Who wants to have car problems when you live in the middle of nowhere? A couple of months after you've had car problems. Like, who wants that? This car, like, was down for, like, all of July and was fixed in August, like, for, like, a month. So, September, October, and then I was away for a month. It hasn't even been 3 months that the car's been back and running. You don't want to have problems. But maybe it's not a real problem. Because what I found out is that because I had removed the battery connection, I don't think that I only used my finger, this is the story of my life, to screw the battery connection back on, the negative or whatever. But now when I was checking all the things today in the garage here at the hotel, I noticed that it's loose. So maybe it's like touch and go, and I hope that's what's causing the problem. But I'm gonna have to figure out what I can use. You can't exactly like take a white cloth and tie with it or something like that. But I think something to that effect. Maybe I'll use like a towel or like a napkin to completely tie it. But it seemed really tight. It needs like a screwdriver. I don't know if I have any tools in the car. Oh, I have a hammer. I think I'll be okay. But I think I'll work around that. You know what's... And then I'm going to let you go. Last time when I came from South Africa, I had disconnected the battery and I had parked the car for the same amount of time in the valley. Now I'm from LAX, shuttle to the valley, get to the car, plug it in, screw, blah, 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 and then drive. And then all the lights came on and the car looked like it was going to shut off. So I pulled over. And this was after a more than 30-hour flight. I'm tired. Just like, today was better. Yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, like, I just want to get home, please. I didn't even think that I was going to be stranded. I was like, I need to figure out what this is and get home. Like, and it was dark outside. I just wanted to get home. And when I looked at the thing, I realized it was touch and go. The battery thing wasn't completely tight. So when I saw that today, I was like, are you telling me I'm having exactly the same problem that I had exactly a year ago after exactly the same thing? Come on, do better. The words of Iyanla. So I hope that's the problem. At this point, we have two potential reasons. The battery and the battery connection and what's the other thing? And the cap. And I hope it's one of those or both. Then we're done. Thanks for listening. At babalwabrook on all social media, and the lovely Brooke, my Brooke, and Tracker Brooke are my eBay stores.